Oh, we live, testing. All right. What's up, guys? It is Gavin, LaShawn, Wilmont. We're back to you again for another Teach Me Tuesday. Sorry, back at you again. Um, what's up, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube? We're on a lot of
YouTube.
different platforms, and we appreciate all the people tuning in. Whether you just dropping in to be nosy, see what's going on, or whether you're getting some good jewels or good advice. We appreciate you either way. So, guys, today, we want to talk a little bit about when rates are high, how do borrowers benefit and save? Yeah, how do borrowers benefit and save when rates are high? It doesn't sound like it would. Rates are high. How can I benefit from a higher interest rate? And that's what we're
Mm.
referring to, guys. Interest rates. Well, we're gonna tell you about it today. I'll tell you what. First things first. I'm Gavin Abraham, your mortgage loan officer in Summerville, South Carolina, but also all around South Carolina and also Georgia. So, Miss Lashawn.
Yep, I am LaShawn Abraham. I am the sales manager in our Summerville, South Carolina branch, right outside the beautiful coast of Charleston, South Carolina. I am one of the other halves of Team Abraham. Mr.
And
Barry.
I'm Will and I'm Wilmont with the Berry Group, brokered by EXP Realty, and super excited for another Teach Me Tuesday.
Another Teach Me Tuesday. All right, so let's
Teach
jump
Me
right on it, guys.
Tuesday.
When rates are higher, borrowers who shop around usually save more. Let's talk
Mm.
about it.
I mean, if I'm being honest, as a lender, I don't like being shopped. As a consumer, I shop around. so,
Well,
so
be
the
honest with
purpose
people.
of
Don't
this
lie to them. Be honest with them.
That's why I have to be honest and transparent. That's just who I am. I don't like being shopped. But at the same time, we're going to definitely talk about that. We're going to teach you how to shop properly. So, one, you make
Hmm.
sure that you're truly comparing apples to apples. And then how, truly you can save, how you can leverage shopping around. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's just jump right into it. So shopping from an interest rate standpoint and from a just property search standpoint, when you're looking at whether you want to buy a house, sell a house, if you already own something, if you're trying to figure out how to cut cost or get something done as far as lowering your monthly payment or getting some additional incentives, whether you need closing costs or something along those lines, shopping is really the best way to do so. And it can bring along lots of savings. So, Gavin, so let's kind of dive into that. So, what do you think about um, about shopping? What's your opinion? Do you feel like
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
good?
come on, we've been there, we've done that, shopping around. Um, when we have borrowers who are shopping, who are shopping us, of course, beyond the great customer service, the great experience that you're going to have with Team Abraham, the great level of communication, understanding, the education that we're going to give you along the process, all that great stuff that's encompassed in your complete buying experience. But then you got to the bottom line. What's the numbers look like? What rates are you guys offering? Etc. It's a missing piece to the puzzle when you're putting everything together. So of course, our job is to give the best options to our clients, and we do that. We don't start at a high point. Like you may go to a car dealership and the salesman may give you one price to start off with, and now you guys are back and forth negotiating. Yeah, that's not really our style. We're here to give you your best options, and you choose what's going to be convenient or best suited for your situation. So, I mean, do we like to be shopped? I don't think no one likes to have to necessarily. Well, I can't say no one, but I can talk about myself. No, I don't want to necessarily have to um, go back and forth about well, this person's offering this. What can you do? Well, I'll tell you what I can do. I can do my best to meet or beat it. And
Mm.
all we ever ask is just to you afford the opportunity to do so. But that's just my outlook on shopping. I definitely, family members, friends, my Facebook people out there and Instagram, certainly do your due diligence as a consumer and find the best option for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I,
What's your
I'm
thought
gonna,
there?
I'm gonna make a comment on that, Gavin. And I know the type of service you guys give. Congratulations to one of our buyers today. She closed on her
Whoop,
home.
whoop, whoop.
Renisha Nelson. Shout out to her.
Oh, yeah.
Single mom. You know what I'm saying, out there doing it for the single moms out there. So I'm gonna speak on y'all. I'm gonna just say this: the best isn't the cheapest.
I like.
I'm gonna say that when you searching for a heart surgeon, you're not looking for the cheapest one, are you?
Oh, I
Hey,
like
You
that.
know,
Oh, yeah.
I
so
like.
so I just want to speak on that, guys. Whenever you're searching for something so important as purchasing a home, you want to make sure you have the right professionals that are representing you to the best of their ability. All right. So just think about that. You want this in the hands of a professional and of an expert. All right. So definitely, consider, Guild Mortgage with Gavin and LaShawn when looking for your mortgage or, mortgage needs. Okay. So I'm gonna speak on from the real estate side, guys, when it comes to when the rates are higher.
Uh-huh.
You know, how, buyers can, possibly save money. One of the things is, and you mentioned it earlier, LaShawn, is uh, it's pricing is more negotiable when rates are higher. Why is that? It's a trickle effect. There's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, and when there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, there's more inventory that comes to the market. Homes tend to sit on the market a little bit longer. Sellers begin to get a little bit more motivated. At that point,
Mhm.
hey, pricing is more negotiable. Closing costs gets considered now. Hey, price decreases, you start seeing that across the board. And I'm not just saying that. I actually looked up some data, you know. So like if you look at 2023,
Uh-huh.
it said that in 2023, existing home sales pace marks lowest level since 1995. Okay, so it wasn't a lot of home sales that occurred compared to previous years. What happened in 2023? So I just want y'all to understand, like, hey guys, even when rates are higher, there's
Uh-huh.
still deals out there. Okay, there's still really good deals out there. You can get really good deals on homes right now. So that's just one of the things I think people can save. So one of the ways people can save when rates are higher. Okay, so yeah.
That's a good point. Thank you for bringing it up that way. I didn't really think about it like that, but you're absolutely right. Right. You truly pay for quality, right? And so sometimes the
Mhm.
lowest may not necessarily provide you with the best quality
Absolutely.
for what you're looking for and what you need. So that is a great point. So definitely thank you for pointing that out. In addition to the negotiating power that you have, when rates are higher, because there's not as high of a demand. Back to your
Mhm.
economics reference in previous sessions that we talked about or whatever. When there's not as high of a demand, then that then breeds more motivation to get something done. So I totally
Absolutely.
agree there. So let's shift gears just a tad to just talk about when you are shopping, whether that's for a real estate agent, whether that's for a mortgage lender, whether that's for a mortgage rate, anything. You want to just make sure that you're really comparing apples to apples, right? You don't want to be, trying to compare, the rates on an FHA loan to a rates on a conventional loan, because they're two different type of products and they provide different benefits, services, and so forth. And then if if you're a real estate agent, right? Let's say you have somebody that's part-time versus full-time, someone that's, like you in the Orangeburg area, but also services Columbia, but you don't want to compare that person to a whole nother market in like Atlanta, Georgia, or something like that. You want to make sure that you're really comparing apples to apples. So let's kind of talk about that as well, because there's pros and cons, right? Because people buy and or sell, and they attack the real estate market for so many different reasons. And so how do you really know what's the best way to do it, and also make sure you're getting the better deal? Because at the end of the day, I feel like people are looking for deals.
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, and again, I think sorry, hit the mic. I think one of the unique situations about higher when rates are higher and bars are out here shopping is that now, as lenders, we have to get a lot more customizable to the buyer themselves. Those who are out seeking financing, because when rates were low, they may have not been all these additional programs that have that now tend to come to the forefront, or they weren't as popular, like buy down rate buy down options, whether it be temporary or permanent. We didn't talk about much of that when rates was in the 2s and 3%, and even as low as 4% and 5%. But when we shot up, to kind of like the normal rates in 6s and 7s, yeah, man, everybody was about, I need a buy down.
You got a point.
So now the trend and the uniqueness of what borrowers need. Loan options are being more customizable. You're getting more loan program options with down payment assistance. So versus just the standard options that may have existed prior to rates rising. So I think that's a good benefit to borrowers. And I know the other thing that jumped in my head was like loan limits. As when rates raised and home prices raised, it's the perfect storm to turn things to where things were a lot less affordable. But when home prices went up, the loan limits that were set on FHA and certain conventional loans, they couldn't remain at the limits that they were. They had to increase also, because now with the homes being more expensive, well, I need to be able to make sure I fit what the average to a little above average home prices is to qualify in my loan limits, or whatever for the financing. So those increased, and now borrowers are able to get, I think we can look at the statistics and numbers and data, but maybe just 3, 4, 5 years ago, the max FHA approval or loan limit may have been like 400, 500,000. But today it's almost up to, like 600,000, 700,000. And that's because of home prices rising and interest rates being as high as they are. Borrowers have to qualify for more.
Yeah, you got a really good point there, because I mean, not only what you said as far as like being more customizable when it comes to certain loan programs and things like that to help accommodate the needs of the prospective buyers that are now out there and sellers, right? And so not only did the buy downs come into play hard over the last couple of years with both the temporary and permanent buy down, also assumable mortgages have also been a more frequent topic of conversation. People are wanting to know, because somebody may have a 2 and 3% rate. I'd rather take that and assume the mortgage versus taking a 6 or 7% rate right now. So I get some calls here and there about people asking for assumable mortgages. In addition to that, before, adjustable rate mortgages was kind of like no, like nobody wanted one of those, but people are calling about those because those mortgage loans have lower terms, and lower terms typically equate to lower rates as well. And so there are some definitely benefits, to the timing of everything, shopping around with the current market that we're in right now. The higher rates and what they're currently yielding. So I definitely think that's a good point to bring up. What would you say there, Wilma, on your end on the real estate side? What are you seeing as far as with in your area?
So I'm seeing more options. Okay. I'm seeing more inventory for buyers. That was something we lacked a year ago, a little bit over a year ago. We lacked the inventory out there, new construction. You could barely get a new build, at one point, they were had waiting lists, So but now, they're coming on the market. I'm even starting to see some even price reductions on new builds. Okay. So that being said, guys, there's more inventory out here giving you more options because of the higher interest rates that are out there as well. So that's another way a buyer can save during higher interest rates. It's almost like I'm gonna say this. Some of y'all might feel some kind of way when I say this, but during times of high interest rates, this might be the best time to buy.
Hey.
So considering everything, guys, not just, hey, my monthly payment cheaper. Okay. Considering, oh man, look at all that I get with this home. I get the location that I want. I get the granite that I want. I get the neighborhood that I want. And also I got it cheaper, but my interest rate was higher. However, I got the house I want. You know what I'm saying? I felt like during when we had this crazy market, people were settling to a degree.
Ooh, that's a good
They were like,
point.
oh man, I might not find another one similar to this, even though it's not what I want. But during this time right now, there's some homes on the market that you can look at and you're like, man, I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck now. So just something to consider, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very good point. I didn't even think about it like that because during those COVID times, I mean, people were overbidding for houses, right? Overpaying for houses, buying houses sight unseen. Like there was so much competition. The market was so competitive and people were panicking. And like you said, they were settling, buying out of fear, buying out of, okay, scarcity. This is all that's left. I guess I got to take this or whatever versus when the rates are higher, the market's a lot slower. You have a lot more control over, what you want to truly choose to move forward with. So I didn't even think you opened my mind. I didn't even think about it like that.
You actually bring me to my last point about less competition. People sit on the sidelines because of higher interest rates. And I get it. Sometimes you have to sit on the sideline because with higher interest rates, it pushed you out of your, your debt to income, or it pushed you out of your buying power that you wanted, that you once had, So and I get that. But I'm seeing now where, prices are coming down. They dipped down slightly this year from where they were, and but when I'm saying this very hesitantly, slightly, I'm seeing a slight price decrease. Okay, if you look at the trend, housing market continues to go in an upward trend over the last I don't know how many years. It just continues to go up. So like I don't want people to sit there and be like, well, I'm gonna wait till they drop all the way down. Well, you might not buy a house then, so but just know that prices have slightly dropped a little bit. But that doesn't mean that they're gonna go further down. Okay.
Right. And I think, I mean, it's important to know that, some of, some reasons why prices are dropping, simply because, sometimes sellers just get more motivated. They want to, their house has been sitting on the market now because rates are high. Houses sit longer sometimes now, providing, like you said, more options. And there are more options out there at the same time. So, now, all right, I need to be a little bit more. What can I do to make my house more sellable? I might need to come down in the price a little bit to make it more attractive to somebody who's out there looking at multiple options.
Oh man, I'm think So Gab, you bring up something. That's something I'm gonna start doing for, because I know we're on this. We focus mainly on buyers, right?
Mhm.
So but I can talk a whole day on on what you just talked about right there. What can I do to make my house more sellable, more attractive
Mhm.
for the buyer? So that's a good topic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but
Mhm.
you know, hey, listen, man. I know you can rant and ramble about different experiences. You know, people holding on to, they don't want to decrease their price in their house. This is what they want.
Yeah.
And some people may not be motivated. Some people, I don't have to sell. I just it'll sell when it sells. All right, well, so that's just the mindset of some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I can
what's your ultimate goal? And
absolutely.
trusting in the professional to help you, the best way of obtaining that goal. Whether it's gonna, you know it not cost you, but maybe it's gonna you'll lose a little bit of those proceeds to make it happen. But
Absolutely.
the ultimate goal is to get it to happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So my question is, because I think what you said, which made me start thinking, was a really good point, right? Because a lot of people do truly say, you know, because you seen slightly, the price of the house coming down some, then
Hmm.
people see
Hmm.
the house go, from a list price, and the price is being dropped in increments of, maybe $5,000 or $10,000 or maybe even $20,000 in some instances. So in their minds, as on the other end, looking on the computer or realtor.com or Zillow or something like that, they're thinking, oh, if I just keep waiting and waiting, that price, the price of the house is going to maybe drop by $50,000 or $100,000, and I can get this house for much, much less. I mean, in your
Hmm.
experience, I guess, how much of a price cut have you really seen that's realistic for someone to believe that, okay, waiting, is a put me in a better position than if I bought it now?
Oh man, that's a loaded question, LaShawn.
I
Because
know
I
that's what
feel
I do.
I feel like I feel like I feel like this. I'd had the blessing to deal with a lot of savvy investors and see how they operate behind the scenes. Um, and if you really are trying to buy a house, it depends on and also it depends on the purpose behind why you're buying that property. Okay. Two, if this is a property
Mhm.
that, man, if this is a property that, man, this fits my family, this is will be a great thing to have for me and my family, and it's like one of those situations could make my life better, my living better, my lifestyle better. I don't know if you can put a price reduction on that. you know um I think that if you have a budget and you say, hey, this is what I'm willing to pay for this particular home, let's go ahead and make the offer.
Hmm.
Let's make the offer, and see what happened. Am I saying make an offer $100,000 less than what the seller is asking for? No, I'm not saying that at all. But all I'm saying is, hey,
Shoot your
would
shot.
consider shoot your shot. I like that. I like that. Shoot your shot. Like if it's within your means, okay, you can afford it, okay, and this is something that's like, man, this would really be a great property, but don't just wait for it to just get down to that price point. I would say make the offer. It don't cost you nothing to make an offer,
Mhm.
okay.
Hmm.
So
There you
I'm
go.
just I put it like that. Now investors, now they coming with a different mentality. They're coming with, it's all about the numbers for them. Like if it's a rental property, they're looking at it like, hey, this is the interest rate. This is what the debt service is going to be on the property. Can I still make money after my tenant pays me rent?
Mhm.
If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Yeah, this is true.
That's how they look at it, and I can respect that. That's just them in a nutshell. But for someone that's gonna buy a home, that's gonna be emotional. Okay, that's a that's something we don't talk about. the emotional part of real estate that buyers go through, because they see that property, it's like, oh man, that's it, that's my home.
That was the one.
They walk in it, they know it, you know, that means something. Okay, that means something. And some investors I know, they don't even have to walk on the property.
Mhm.
What are the numbers?
Mm-hmm.
What's the condition? What's the location? It's a deal.
Right. Because they know the potential and what they can get out of it.
That's it. That's it. And
So
it's
I
simple.
mean, so you gotta say something, Gav?
No, go ahead.
Okay, because like so, both of y'all said two things that kind of like stood out in my head, right? You were talking about the emotional connection that people have with real estate, and then also, Gavin, you said that that investor knows pretty much what the goal is, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to make money, and whatever. And to me, a lot of that just have to do with the mindset around the real estate and the true purpose and benefits that it provides. And neither one is wrong, right? But but both different, lanes can be looked at a little differently, depending on who that buyer is, whether it's the investor or the or the consumer itself or whatever. But I would tell people at the end of the day, there's a cost to waiting, right? Even where I was going with that when I asked you about the price point range and the dropping of the price, was that even if a house drops maybe $5,000 to $20,000, truly, what is that really saving you in a monthly mortgage payment, or how is that really benefiting you at that particular point in time versus if you waited another year from now or two, right? Because if you look at the trends or whatever, what houses cost 2 years ago, let's say in 2022 versus what they cost today in 24, those prices aren't any cheaper, right? They're steadily going up, 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 even though there have been minor slashes. I mean, I know there's been some builders that cut houses $30,000, $40,000, and the houses are still, at the top price level, right? And so there's not, to me, in my opinion, there's no advantage to really waiting, right? Because there are some people, by circumstance, they may truly need to wait because they may not have the credit yet, or they may not have all the money saved or something like that. But but if you are truly eligible to buy a house and you got a pre-approval, then by all means you should proceed with buying a house. Period. That's always
you gotta add, so people don't receive that. The way that you wanted to land, and I'm gonna make it land on somebody.
Make it land, Gavin Jermaine. Make it land
in their spirit and their soul.
Because
unless you already own a home and you're deciding, you know what, maybe it's best for me to wait, or you got a situation where you ain't paying nobody nothing. If that's how it's working out for you, by all means. But if you are renting, and home ownership is an option.
If you're living at home with your mama.
If you paying somebody rent, if you're paying somebody else's mortgage,
that's what you're doing.
That's exactly what you're doing. If you're paying somebody else's mortgage when you could be paying your own mortgage, then by all means, you need to act today. If you're in the position to buy. It's not, you shouldn't be, there's no reason to say, I need to wait for rates to go down. I need to wait for, the house with every single thing on my checklist to show up, because you're going to be waiting until you die.
Ooh.
Unless you go out there and build it yourself and you can afford to build it yourself and you can afford to wait the time for it to be built.
Yeah.
You got like that, go get it. But if it checks off enough boxes and you can do it today, do it today.
And so I get it, guys. This is a big decision. Okay, I know we talking like, oh man, just buy a house.
Yeah, it's like
oh man, that's exactly what we said. Oh man, just buy a house.
We get it. I get it. I guess I'm partially numb to it because I help people buy and sell every day. So but I will say this, guys, if that's something that you desire, and that's one of your goals,
right,
man, it don't hurt to reach out to me or Gavin or LaShawn to talk to us about, what does that look like?
Right.
Because I know some of y'all out there watching right now, you just hesitant. If I'm
True.
talking to you, this is for you. Okay. How the pastor said this for somebody out
This
there.
for somebody.
I don't know who this from, but this was but like sometimes I think you just hesitant because you don't know. Okay. And you don't know the process and you're scared about the process. Like you think you need a whole bunch of money, or you think you got to have it all together. There are some requirements, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
Some prep work.
hey, but you don't have to have an 800 credit score.
No.
Okay. I don't want you to think you got to have a 700 as well. I don't want you to think like, man, I'm just waiting till I get that thing perfect. Nah, you don't have to do that. So, reach out to one of us so that we can help you possibly make that decision sooner. Matter of fact, man, the one who closed today.
Hey, I was just thinking about that, bro. It's like
she was legit, was like, man, I'm still working on some things on my credit. I was like, why do you say that? Well, I just think I need to do this. I said, well, why don't you talk to a lender first? She's like, I don't know. I said, well, just talk to him, see what he can do for you. Send him to Gavin. She got pre-approved, and she literally closed on her house today.
Yeah, and she and man, that we live for these moments, like, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to my job is to close loans, to get people in, to finance people and get them into mortgages, but the true the true gratification behind it all is, man, when they're at that closing table and you remember the first conversation you had with them, where in their mind, man, I'm able to. Am I gonna get approved for something? Just the hesitancy. I mean, thankfully, you find the courage, or someone gives you that motivation to at least find out, and then, once you're willing to just jump in there and find out, boy, will we grab your hand and lead you to the finish line. We'll show you how to get there. We will hold your hand throughout the process. Yeah. And make you comfortable in throughout the process of something that you do not know. It's a foreign language to you. Buying a home can be a complete foreign language to someone who doesn't know anything about home ownership.
Yeah.
So that's where you trust your professionals, man. And Wilma, this was a great one for us to close on today. And man, I'm so happy for her.
Yeah. And not only to say this too, she was in a multiple offer situation.
Oh yeah.
We won the multiple offer situation.
But that's because of relationships that you already had your name in that area.
Gavin, I wasn't gonna say that, but
the reason that was because it was your name with making that. She's like, you know what? I know you, and if it's you I'm dealing with, I'm gonna go with you over this other person.
So Gavin said that. He said that it wasn't me, it was him. He said it, and Gavin, I appreciate that, brother.
When you got a reputation, flaunt it. It is
man.
what it is.
And when they see Guild Mortgage on that contract, I just think that they're gonna feel confident. That listing agent is gonna feel confident in how this process is gonna go when they try to get this house closed. Yeah. So,
guys, this is awesome. So this was such a great segment, a great episode today. And so if they want to find you, Mr. Orangeburg, Mr. Wilmot Berry, how do they find you if somebody wants, to speak with you, wants your assistant with either selling their house or helping them find the house? Where can they find you?
Oh man, Facebook is Wilmot Berry. I'm gonna keep it real simple. Wilmot Berry on Facebook, guys. Hit me up on Messenger, or if you want to call me, my number is 803-347-3329. Again, that's 803-347-3329. Also, you can find me on YouTube for more content like this, guys. All these recordings are on YouTube as well, on our Facebook feed. YouTube is the Bear Group, brokered by EXP Realty, and just type in Wilmot Bear too. You'll find me under there.
Yeah.
So
And so same here. If you want to get started with the home loan process, if you do not know where you need to start, if you wonder where your credit score is, how much of a mortgage can I afford, what's my budget, how do I get started with trying to qualify for a home, reach out to myself, LaShawn Abraham, or my other half, my partner in life and in business, Mr. Gavin Abraham. You can find us on all social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, which is Team Abraham, All Things Mortgage, LaShawn and Gavin. So we are more than happy to assist you guys, and we cannot wait to talk with you guys next week. Y'all have a great day.
Yep.
peace.
But they can find me in the club, bottle full of. Oh.